What's up, everybody? I'm Mike, he's Max, and we are talking WrestleMania 33, the ultimate thrill ride. Because we got to hammer home the tagline, the ultimate thrill ride. We're giving our predictions, our thoughts. We're going to run through the match card one match at a time. We're shooting this on Saturday, so any kind of last-minute changes, plans, or if you're falling for Chris Jericho's April Fool's Day jokes or anything like that, subject to change.
It's all over social media.
This is all as of Saturday afternoon, April 1st. So we'll start with the pre-show, the Cruiserweight title match, Neville and Austin Aries. What you got?
I'm going to go Neville retains. The build hasn't been there, but I think it's partly because Austin Aries just started coming back. So I would like to see that feud continue, though. But I do like Neville as champion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And admittedly, I'm not a fan of the Cruiserweights. I love the Cruiserweight Classic. It was great. But ever since the Cruiserweights have been on Raw, I just don't think it's been handled well. But I do think Neville has been one of the few good things they've done.
Absolutely.
Since putting the Cruiserweights on Raw, he's been a great heel champion. Heel Neville is fantastic.
Awesome to watch.
Love Austin Aries. We got to see his Raw debut at the Joe a couple of weeks ago. And he's great too. And I'm with you. I'd like to see the feud continue. I do have Neville retaining. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, on a side note, I don't think I would mind if this was on the pre-show every year.
No, it was on the main card last year, right? I think it was on the main card.
But I think 2 years ago at 31.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was on the pre-show when Damian Sandow almost had his moment.
Oh, it was so close.
I saw a flashback to that the other day. So, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I have two thoughts here. So I'm going to go two. I mean, I think it's either going to be Braun Strowman, or if this is the Big Show's final match, maybe he goes out on top. But my thought is just Braun Strowman. I mean, they don't really have anything to do with him right now, but he is just a beast among men, and that's I can't see anybody else but Braun Strowman winning it. Side question for you: there was the rumored Big Show Shaq match. Of course, Shaq's not going to have the match. Physical health and physical fitness and all that. But does Shaq still at least make an appearance? Maybe cause a distraction or something? Do you think that's possible? It could happen. I mean, if the rumors are true that maybe he wasn't in the shape to do an entire match, but maybe he shows up again like he did last year as a surprise entrant in the Battle Royal. I don't know if they've announced everybody yet, so I could see it happen. It would be fun. Yeah, and then maybe give those two a shot to just battle it out in the ring for a minute before they're both double eliminated again.
It's all no DQ. It could happen, but yeah, I got to go with Braun. It's so obvious. Sometimes being obvious isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, what else are you going to do with him if you don't have one? All right, main card, which now thankfully includes the SmackDown Women's title match, which was originally on the pre-show, and thanks to all the backlash, it has been properly moved back onto the main card. It's now a six-pack challenge with the return of Naomi on SmackDown last week. Your thoughts on this one?
It's got to be Naomi, right? They took the title off of her when she got injured. Other than that, I don't think she would have even lost the title, and it's her hometown. They're going to put it, the crowd's going crazy. She got a huge pop on SmackDown Live Tuesday, louder than I would have thought, and she came back, destroyed everybody. I think she eventually wins it, and she gets it in front of the home crowd, has her moment.
Yeah, you really got to have some of those feel-good WrestleMania moments every year, and that's, I think, as good as any. And you're right, it is a title that she never did technically lose. She had to vacate it due to the injury. As much as I would love to see Alexa Bliss retain, because I'm loving what Alexa Bliss is doing. She's been fantastic as a champion, and Hart always says Becky Lynch, but I gotta agree with you there. Got to go with Naomi. We move on to I believe it's the Raw. Yeah, the Raw Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. We saw Sheamus get busted open on Monday, 15 stitches. You haven't seen it. It was pretty gruesome.
It's very gory.
Got a nice shiner and stitches at the Hall of Fame last night. It's Anderson and Gallows, Enzo and Cass, and Cesaro and Sheamus.
I think this is Enzo and Cass's big moment.
Oh,
I think this
continuing with the feel-good WrestleMania moments.
They're in the NXT area. That's where they got their start. They never had their moment as NXT Tag Team Champions. They were close a couple times, but I think this is it. I think the crowd goes crazy, but I think Gallows and Anderson get them back shortly after.
Okay.
I think they give them their moment, they give them their title, and especially watching I don't know if you've seen the WWE 24 Raw after WrestleMania.
Not yet. I haven't watched that yet.
They do a good feel-good about the two of them, and I think that could help build to the Mania moment.
Okay. I'm going to go with Anderson and Gallows retaining. I think I could see him doing it where, especially in a ladder match, you see it all the time in ladder matches, the Money in the Bank. You always have that guy who seems like he's going to win, and then at the last minute, somebody else takes. I think we're going to be close. I think they're going to tease Enzo and Cass winning the tag team titles, but I do think somehow or another Anderson and Gallows retain. I would love to see them continue to build those guys up. I feel like they've just been so hot and cold in their run here. I would love to see them do more with them. I mean, I think, like you said, it'd be a great feel-good moment if Enzo and Cass win, but I see them retaining. Intercontinental Championship, Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. This one's kind of had a bit of an interesting feud, attempted murder and whatever else.
Well, it is Baron Corbin. I mean, if there's a guy...
I know you love you some Baron Corbin.
I do love Baron Corbin. I would love to see Baron Corbin win. I just don't know. I don't think they'll take the title off Ambrose. I think the way that... I don't think Corbin is big enough yet. I don't think they've had given him a chance to build him big enough. Now this could help him if he wins it, but for some reason I think Ambrose.
Because winning the Andre Battle Royal did so much for him last year. Right. But now that's why I have Corbin winning. I think maybe this is another step to potentially help legitimize him. He still doesn't feel like that legitimate main eventer yet, but I think maybe this could be a step in the right direction. And Ambrose continues, I think his popularity is high enough where I don't think it would damage him too badly if he loses the title. But I think it couldn't hurt Corbin to win the match and get the title and just help, I don't know, maybe help him feel a little more legitimate in his build. Moving on, we got the the mixed tag team match. John Cena and Nikki Bella against The Miz and Maryse. One of these surprisingly entertaining builds we've had with Total Bella's BS and all of that.
It's been amazing.
How good is that?
This should main event WrestleMania. This is a main event build that they have put on over the last 5-6 weeks between those two.
It's fantastic. I don't even like any of them. I don't like any of them. But this has been some of the... Now, in all fairness, Miz has been doing probably some of the best promo work of his career in the last year or two.
He brought the Intercontinental title back.
For sure.
Back to promise or praise or whatever you're going to say. Whatever I'm trying to say. Anyway.
But it's fantastic. I mean, they nailed all the John Cena and Nikki Bella mannerisms, and the build is... The build, it's one of the funny... Forget Southpaw Regional Wrestling. This was one of the funniest things they've done in years.
I think I'm going to go with as a Southpaw Regional Wrestling reference, Chet Chatterfield and Nikki Bella with the win, despite my heart wanting the other couple to win. And if the rumors are true, and he does get down on one knee, then a great WrestleMania moment for the two of them. But I honestly could not care less.
Yeah, I hear. To me, this is a classic. Who should win? Who will win? Situation. This is Miz and Maryse should win this match. I mean, it's for every reason. But my general rule when I make WWE pay-per-view predictions is never pick against John Cena because WWE booking, and it makes sense. It's the classic good guys getting giving the bad guys their comeuppance, and again with the rumors, maybe this is Nikki's final match, maybe it isn't, and the supposed maybe a proposal. So begrudgingly, I got to go with John Cena and Nikki Bella. Moving on to a match I am very excited about: Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. A match, in my opinion, that should have been title versus title. Kevin Owens should have never lost the Universal title.
Absolutely,
that was horrible, but that's a whole other rant. So it's Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens for the U.S. title, and this has also had some great build-up.
They have been great. I'm going Kevin Owens. He's had the Universal title, he's had the Intercontinental title, and I think it's time he gets the U.S. title. And again, based off of rumors, if Jericho is disappearing soon to go back to his work in Fozzy Rock and all of that, I think there's no use to keep the title on him if he's going to go back to being a part-timer. Now, the Universal Championship match could say obviously different things about part-timers having title bouts, but you're a Kevin Owens fan, I'm a Kevin Owens fan, and I think we both would love to see Kevin Owens with the United States Championship.
I think maybe it's a small consolation, and again, I think sort of what we were talking about earlier with Ambrose, I think maybe tenfold with Jericho, it really doesn't hurt him to lose the title. I mean, you want to talk about somebody who's maybe doing the best promo work of his entire career.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. The guy's been in the company for almost 18 years now.
And he's gone from face to heel to face, and he is just, he made a list popular.
Yeah,
he made a piece of paper.
The word "it," the phrase "stupid idiot."
Oh, it's been great.
It's fantastic the work that he's done. So I think, and that could be the classic if Kevin Owens wins and then you get the rematch at, I believe it's Yeah, Payback is the Raw pay-per-view, the end of April. So you get the rematch of Payback. You know, you still got the Chris Jericho babyface connection. You know, trying to win his title back. Crowd still loves him. So I think it makes sense to have KO win it. And again, maybe it's the least they could do for taking the Universal title away from him at Fastlane. Moving on, the Raw Women's title match, Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, and Nia Jax.
So I'm going to break down the way I hope this works out. I'm hoping Nia is eliminated first because she was a late addition to the match, and then we have 3 of the 4 horsewomen in another technically triple threat style match at Mania. I'm hoping Charlotte then gets eliminated, and you have Sasha Bayley for the final 2, with Bayley retaining. Sasha celebrating with Bayley, her WrestleMania moment. She's in there, raises her arm, backstabber, bank statement, Sasha Banks heel turn, and we build to SummerSlam.
I love it. I love it. It's been so obvious that this has been coming for so long, and obviously we saw what they can do in NXT. They tore the house down twice in those NXT takeover
matches. Were they nominated for Match of the Year? I think in NXT
that
year.
The 2015. The match in Brooklyn when Bayley won the title was Match of the Year.
Okay, that's what it was.
Which was between the match and the story, that was, wrestling storytelling at its finest, in my opinion, when it's done right. I do see it going in a similar fashion. I think Nia will be one of the first eliminated. I think Dana will get involved. Obviously, it's Fatal 4-Way, no DQ. We had the inexplicable Dana Brooke face turn at the Joe that nobody asked for.
Nobody saw it,
So, they seem to be maybe building towards something with those 2. So maybe Dana either interferes, causes a distraction, somehow causes Charlotte to get eliminated. Those 2 go on to feud at Payback. And then I am going to go with Sasha beating Bayley for the title.
Now, I would mind that.
But I think it'll be in. I don't think they'll go full heel turn yet, but maybe it'll be something sneaky. I don't know, either a dirty pin or foot on the ropes, or play it off. She's kind of been in that
subtle hint of what's coming,
and I think they and maybe the night after WrestleMania, and then they have something together, and maybe that's when she finally snaps. But that's just a thought. The other thing is, maybe this is when Emma shows up. Maybe Emma interferes. True. Who knows? She has history with some of them.
Could happen.
It's a thought there. I do like the idea of destroying the celebration, though. That be awesome. Huge heat. This is Sasha, who made a little girl cry.
She did. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Shane McMahon and AJ Styles.
I'm going to keep it simple. It's AJ Styles. There's no reason that AJ Styles loses this match, and there's no reason for Shane McMahon to win this match.
Yeah, it makes sense. AJ. Now the question is, when you saw the video of the WrestleMania set, did you pick out what Shane McMahon, with that giant sun in the middle? Shane McMahon going to jump off of that?
There's multiple things that Shane McMahon can jump off of for no other reason than the fact that he's Shane McMahon and he jumps off.
He is crazy. He is legitimately crazy. Yeah, no reason why AJ shouldn't win. Now this one will be interesting. Seth Rollins, Triple H, the non-sanctioned match.
I'm going to go Triple H, because I think it helps solidify Rollins' full babyface turn, and he doesn't need to win the match anyways. And I think it could somehow maybe get him back into the title picture if the Authority is going to be present on Raw.
I think I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. Now, if Seth Rollins was still heel, this would change things for me. But I think maybe this is when we finally see Finn Balor. My thought was always, after Balor's injury, and we kind of timed it out, like, well, he might be back in time for WrestleMania. And my thought was always, he's going to come back and feud with Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins was the one who injured him at SummerSlam. Now, it's a little tough to do with Seth being babyface, but, you could still make it work. But maybe somehow he gets involved, or maybe shows up after the match. Maybe Rollins wins and then Balor shows up and they have a stare down or something, and that leads to something maybe a Payback. But I'm going to go with Rollins winning.
Okay. I'm fine either way. But I love the idea of Balor coming back, because we were at Raw And he had just debuted the weekend before at a house show.
He was rumored to be in the building
and
that
he's
night.
still wrestling house shows,
Yeah.
but I think I would love to hear that deep breath,
Yes.
guitar riff hit at Mania.
Yes. Undertaker and Roman Reigns. This is going to be... There's a lot of interesting theories floating around with this one.
I'm going to go Roman Reigns because I don't want this to be the Undertaker's final match. And there's also no reason for the Undertaker to win this if it isn't his final match. Now, if it is his final match, which we may be able to find out if this main event is actually main eventing WrestleMania. If it is his final match, then the Undertaker goes out on top, obviously. But I'm hoping that maybe he just takes a step back and only wrestles at Mania, which he's kind of been doing already.
Kind of how he was a couple of years ago.
But and then we see one more Undertaker match.
And I would agree that I think we got one more on the horizon, which I'll get to in a second. I do think Reigns will win, but I think similar to my Sasha theory, I think Reigns, he's kind of been playing the heel here. I know everybody's calling, and he's clearly almost automatically the heel anyway, going against Taker. So I almost wonder, and I've heard other theories similar to this, and I kind of like it that, he kind of goes for the heel cheat to win sort of thing. He gets extra heat on him, and following up from that, next year's WrestleMania is in New Orleans, which is where the streak ended. So what better place to have one final match, redeem the streak, whether it's against Brock Lesnar or somebody else. Maybe they go that route. Maybe they finally do Undertaker and Cena. But I think we got one more coming in New Orleans next year. With the history, it makes perfect sense.
Yep, that's fair. I like it.
All right. Last two, the championship matches. Universal title, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Goldberg, who was brought back to sell video games, and we're reminded of that every time he comes out. He's got the WWE 2K17 logo on his graphic, and he's the champion in the year 2017.
I'm going to go quickly here, as I did with the AJ Styles, Shane McMahon. It's going to be Brock Lesnar for no other reason than why the heck would you keep the title on Goldberg?
Well, and I mean, after everything that's happened, it almost has to be Lesnar. I mean, we've had the 26-second or whatever it was at Survivor Series, and the debacle that was Fastlane and everything else. And
question for you.
Yes.
How long do you think the match goes?
Oh, gosh. Well, of course, everybody's making the same joke about how the entrance is going to be longer than the match itself, but I mean, if you set like an over-under at 5 minutes, I'd almost have to say take the under.
I was going to say, I would take the under at 5 minutes.
And I don't know if...
I mean, Goldberg,
and I don't know how tricky they get with it. Do they have Paul Heyman get involved? Do they have whomever else get involved? Maybe this is where Finn Balor shows up. I mean, look at what happened at Fastlane. There were all the shenanigans before the match, and then the match itself was 26 seconds. And I feel like it has to be Brock Lesnar. I mean, look, I watched Goldberg's original run in WCW in 1998, and it was awesome, but that was 1998. This is almost 20 years later, and I have no interest in seeing Goldberg as the top champion in the year 2017. I mean,
there's no reason for him to be champion in 2017 either with the stars that WWE has.
Yeah. So, finally, the WWE title. Bray Wyatt, of course, winning the title at Elimination Chamber against the Royal Rumble winner, Randy Orton. Randy Orton committed arson on live television. Was rewarded with the main event of WrestleMania. I think you and I both
probably go on.
There's no way this match goes on last.
No.
I just don't.
I like this match, and I think this match has the most potential for where they can go after WrestleMania, building to SummerSlam and the other SmackDown only pay-per-views. I actually don't think I had a decision made yet, so I'm gonna have to make one now. I'm hoping Wyatt. So that'll be my decision. I'm hoping Bray Wyatt keeps the title, and then we get to see other matches that we've never seen before, whether it's like a Wyatt AJ Styles match, or if it's if the trades happen or a new draft, we see Wyatt and somebody else maybe from NXT or somewhere. I think it could be good. So I'm gonna go Wyatt.
Okay, I'm gonna go Wyatt as well, but. Now, see, like I was telling you beforehand, I always like to try and pick at least one match for a DQ finish or something screwy, and I just have a feeling they're going to do something screwy with this match, like Randy Orton hits an RKO, and he's going to go for the pin, and the lights, the Wyatt graphic comes up, the lights go out, and when the lights come out, maybe the referee's knocked out. And I think Harper and a returning Eric Rowan show up.
Yeah.
And while the ref is down, they take out Orton. And you have a reformed original 3 Wyatt family back together, standing tall at the end of the match.
Yeah, I like that. I would be happy with that. I think Wyatt is a great champion, and he's a little weird, but he's great.
And very deserving.
Yes, absolutely.
He's, look at where he started when he was doing the Husky Harris in the old NXT, and that didn't go anywhere. And the guy, you forget how long the guy's been in the company and how long it was before he finally won a singles title. And that was part of the reason why I was so happy at Elimination Chamber. I mean, this is a guy who totally deserves it, and I would love to see him have a at least somewhat lengthy, productive title run, and continuing, the great work that they've been doing on SmackDown.
Yeah, for sure.